His revolution coming on this region of West Africa called Burkina Faso. This revolution is led by a man who is young, bold and fearless. And in just 2 years, Ibrahim Traore has gone from an unknown captain in the Burkinabe army to one of the most talked about leaders on the African continent. Some call him a liberator, others call him a threat, but one thing is certain, with the United States of America, Ibrahim Traore is becoming the man they fear the most.
Qu'un général américain mente, ça ne nous étonne pas. Parce que Colin Powell a menti. L'Irak a été détruite. Barack Obama a menti. Kadhafi a été tué. Mais cette fois-ci, leurs mensonges ne nous atteindront point.
To understand Ibrahim Traore, we must journey back to 1988, when he was born. Born in 1988 in the small town of Bondokoi, Ibrahim Traore grew up during one of the most difficult times in Burkina Faso history. Poverty, instability, and foreign dependence marked the lives of millions. A bright student, Traore pursued geology before joining the army, but it was on the battlefield against Islamist insurgents that he earned respect. By his early 30s, he became a captain, and then in September 2022, he shocked the world, leading a coup that toppled the government and placed him in power at just 34 years old. For decades, France maintained control over its former colonies through economic, military, and political influence. Burkina Faso was no exception. Gold mines filled French coffers, while Burkina Faso people struggled with poverty. French troops were stationed in the country under the banner of fighting terrorism, but the insecurity only grew worse. Then came Traore. His first message was simple: Burkina Faso will no longer be a colony. So who is this man America fears the most today? He wasn't born on the world stage. His early days were forged in the later seas of a forgotten war. The grinding conflicts against jihadist insurgents that larger power failed to stop. He's a soldier, not a politician. And the first thing he did was to declare that Burkina Faso would no longer be a client state.
34-year-old Ibrahim Traoré is the new self-declared leader of Burkina Faso. He overthrew the president Paul-Henri Damiba alongside a group of soldiers. Traoré has gone from being a career soldier to the leader of the West African nation.
But this wasn't just another African coup. This was a direct reproduction of the established order, the old playbook, where the Western nations like France and the US provide military support and influence in exchange for allegiance, was thrown out of the window. Traoré looked at the decade of French military presence and saw only failure, rising violence, the nation on the brink, so he did the unthinkable. He kicked out French troops. He ended the defense agreement that had defined the region for generations.
Burkina Faso's government kicks out French embassy's defense official after thwarted coup plot. Burkina Faso's government has ordered the French embassy's defense attaché to leave the country due to subversive behavior, as stated in a leaked letter. Attaché Emmanuel Pasquier's expulsion is the latest sign of increasing tension between the West African nation and its former colonizer France, since a military government seized power in 2 coups last year.
Then he turned to east, to Russia, to the Wagner Group. This is the core of the fear in Washington and Paris. It's not just about a new strong man, it's about a strategic pivot. Traoré is actively replacing the Western sphere of influence with a new axis of power, one that includes Moscow and potentially others who will challenge the US-led order. Is in effect creating a new front in a proxy war. And his message is dangerously popular. It taps into the same deep well of anti-colonial resentment that Thomas Sankara did a generation before. He speaks of sovereignty, of Burkinabe solution for Burkinabe problem. He's a populist revolutionary in military fatigues. But here is a critical question.
What is the real cost?